Oh man. The whole point is to share it on here.
Oh yeah, that's right. Embarrass the shit out of yourself.
Keep the conversation, as random as possible.
And you're doing a fine job on your end.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Stardom right here on JG's Lounge. I'm your host, Jukebox Ginger, and with me today we got a great guest, Pat Oates. Man, how are you?
Good, man. How's it going?
Dude, it's a beautiful Wednesday morning. It's a little cold, but I haven't even looked outside, so it might not be that beautiful. I don't know.
You just gave me a false weather report. I like that right from the jump. It's like you have no idea what's going on. It's an apocalypse outside, but whatever. It's sunny.
Who cares, man? I woke up for this.
Yeah, it's cold as hell here. I've been outside. I'm in Connecticut. It's like 30 degrees and somewhat sunny. So
Right. And here I'm in Kansas City, and here it's like it can be 30 degrees, but like it actually gets into your bones, like you can feel it in your body.
yeah, I don't like to know I have osteoporosis when I'm not even 50 yet. You know what I mean? Like I don't need to feel that stuff.
Right. Oh man, so everybody, thanks for tuning in. As I like to always say in the beginning of the show, if it wasn't for you guys, I'd still be doing this, but it's nice to have the audience. So
yeah, I like that you're the few people that says, yeah, my ego knows where it is. I'll be doing this if no one's watching, but for you 3 people watching, sweet. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, most of my views typically come after the live because I always do early mornings, and most of my followers are not up or at work.
Well, you have followers that work? Like none of my
weird.
followers
I mean,
work.
it's
It's like
I'll be at work, and like my people I work with are like, "Oh, hey, I checked out your show like 5 minutes ago with that one guy. Oh, that was like 3 weeks ago, but all right, cool."
yeah, thanks. Did you comment, like it, or subscribe? No, I didn't do anything to help you. Oh, thanks.
Nope. Oh, thanks, appreciate it. I complimented you.
Yeah, it's like-
So, tell everybody a little bit about yourself, man.
Stand-up comic, been doing stand-up comedy about 16 years. I also part-time on radio here in Connecticut. I do that. I sit in with a morning show a couple days a week, and then I also do part-time on weekends. Been trying to make people laugh for money for 15-something years, so that's about it.
How'd you get into comedy? Did too many people mention that you were funny, or did you just think you were funny?
Comedy's always been my crutch and self-defense and everything in life. So like good, bad, or whatever. Like if it's a funeral or it's a happy occasion, I'm trying to make fun of stuff. So I've always been that guy. But like I never thought about comedy or never saw it as an avenue. A buddy of mine actually signed me up for a comedy contest, unbeknownst to me. He told me we're just gonna go hang out at a bar and eat wings and stuff. And we got there. He goes, oh, there's a silly comedy contest. And there was the owner of the bar. The owner of the bar's son and a girl they were both trying to sleep with were the judges. And they were like sitting American Idol style. We're like, oh, this is going to be fun. And then they had 3 contestants. A guy who just lost his job and needed money. A guy who was the fry cook of the place. And then a magician. So they went up. They all failed and did whatever. And then they go, we have one more contestant. And then they go, Pat Oates. And I look at my friend. He goes, yeah, you could do this. So I went up. I shit on them. I made fun of the situation. I made fun of the town I was in, and I won $100. So my buddy looks at me and goes, "You're better than 3 people. That's a start." And to date myself, I went home and I went on MySpace and I searched comedians in my area, found somebody, and I said, "Hey, I did comedy once. I'd like to find open mics or something." And she steered me in the right direction. I did it, and I've been doing it ever since.
And that's crazy. I mean, it's weird how people kind of figure that out. Like, I never considered myself funny until I got on here and realized, wow, I can make comedians laugh. I must be doing something right.
Or you're just a twisted fuck. I mean, that's also it too. Because usually with a comic, like we always talk about, if you're at an open mic and there's comics there, and you never want to work to the back of the room, because if you're making comics laugh, you're not going to make audiences laugh, because we're all thinking of jokes. So if you say something, we're usually laughing, going, "Oh man, no, I would never fucking say that." So like you might be doing that too, but either way, that's awesome.
Yeah. No, exactly. And I see your clips too. I definitely noticed like you like do that crowd interaction too. That's awesome.
I've been doing that. I was doing that first before I even really understood how to write a joke. I just talk. So like, and you definitely need to have material. When people think they can just talk, even comics who do the most crowd work, if you're doing a 45-minute set, you're literally doing crowd work for maybe 3 of those minutes. It feels like forever, but you're not really just top of head talking. You might talk to them and have set things. But so it's fun to put those clips out because you don't burn material, but also it's something I bring to the table. So it's like, it's an extra icing on the cake with the material. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, and I've had like groups of comedians that like I've had all the friends on that go tour together and stuff, and I've noticed like some of them will have like notes or something on the actual stage where it's like, don't say this because that's their line, or that's because like you got almost get mixed up when you're touring together.
I guess, but I don't know. I don't think any comic should ever be limited by anybody else. Even if you're a comic and I'm a comic and we're both got red beards and we both have, we talk about dating or whatever, your uniqueness and your point of view is going to be different than mine. And we should both have the ability. I should be able to follow anything you say and make someone listen to my shit and your shit. How many times if you watch an action movie, action movies are the same fucking thing. Different dudes are in it, but they're shooting folks and it's stupid. And they're trying to get laid by a lady they would never be able to sleep with normally. So that's what comedy is. It's like it's somebody doing the same thing over. So I never limit people, and I hate when people say to me, I do crowd work. You shouldn't do crowd work. I'm like, well, you should be able to follow anything. You're good.
Right.
So relax.
Yeah. So what I do for the show is I don't tell people what the topic is until we're live. And I find like 8 to 10 like clips or memes or whatever related to that. I post them, and then whatever random conversation comes off of that, we just roll with it.
Nice.
All right. So for today, I was kind of thinking, what's good for this time of year? And I was like, there's a lot of stupid gifts that people get. So I found some unrealistic gifts, and we're going to talk about them.
Nice.
All right. First up, we got Hot Lips, the face heater.
Ooh. Wow.
That looks interesting. Yeah.
How do you see?
I'd be more worried about my face stiffening up. Being a ginger, my face would fry. I'm not so worried about the heat.
Well, I mean, it looks like with the hand, like those hand warmers you used to like have back in the day. It looks like it's made by that company, and those things never worked for more than 2 fucking seconds. So like, I wouldn't be worried about the heat or the radiation. I don't think that's gonna pump the heat. You think if it comes in a box and it's got a dude wearing a welder's mask, it's not gonna be top quality product. So I'm not really worried about the heat. I think it's more so gonna fuck with your vision.
Oh yeah, well obviously it's unless you can drive out of your peripheral, I don't see that working at all.
Oh, I don't think you're using your car.
Where isn't that why you're driving? Hey man, some people don't have heaters during the winter.
All right, that's a level of trash I didn't know we were dancing in. If your car's so cold, or you have like a buggy, I guess, and you have to put that on your face, and it's just for your lips, then why is it covering his eyes and his head?
Right. Well, damn it, Dylan, come on now.
How much does Hot Lips cost?
It doesn't say the price on there either, man. It doesn't look. There's no price.
No,
on there.
you thought there'd be like as seen on TV or like a 1999. How much would you pay for Hot Lips?
For that, I would probably pay $19.99 on Amazon with the potential of returning it being like an 80% chance.
I think that would be a great gag gift to someone you don't like, but you have to get them a gift. Like they're like, and you go, I know you so well. I know you always think about your lips. You say something weird to them. It's like, I know you. I've heard you give out cold kisses, and then you just give them that and let it go,
and just see what they say.
Or this is good for your cold sore. Like, I hear it really helps out with the herpes. And like, what the fuck? It's like,
what's the craziest gift that you've ever given that you can think of?
I wouldn't say craziest, but my parents were divorced, and still are. When I was little, like one of the first couple of Christmases where I had Christmas Eve with my dad and Christmas with my mom, they didn't really talk much, and so I'm dating myself again in age. But on Christmas Eve, my dad got me a gift. I opened it up. It's a board game, and it was based on the TV show The A-Team. It was the A-Team board game.
Yeah.
It looked like Candyland, but instead of having like a gingerbread man, it had Mr. T's van and a glass of milk. You could be all the weird things that were in it. And it's like, okay, I've watched A-Team twice, but I'm like 6 or 7. I don't give a fuck about this game. What a stupid game. I go home Christmas morning. I open up a gift for my mom. Fucking A-Team board game. They didn't talk, and I got 2 goddamn A-Team board games, and I was just pissed. I was like, I get it, you don't like each other, but goddamn talk to each other, because now I got this shit game twice, and they're like, you can play it at both houses. Like, I don't want to play this anywhere. Who the hell plays the A-Team board game? I was told to go to my room on Christmas. So it's like,
Oh, that's wonderful. It's the best gift ever.
yeah, twice.
I remember I was always into like Incredible Hulk, a lot of the green characters like Incredible Hulk, Green Lantern.
Why green?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Green's always been my favorite color, so that's
Nice.
probably why. And I remember one year I got a kite, and I was never really a kite person, anyways. And in the wintertime, I mean, it doesn't make sense here in Kansas. That makes no sense to get.
Yeah,
a
you
kite
can't
in
play
winter.
with it till the spring.
And it was a Power Rangers one. I fucking hated Power Rangers. I was never a fan of Power Rangers. And
Was it the Green Power Ranger at least?
No, it was just the whole group of them. But I remember like that next spring, we were flying it, and we ended up like having to go to the store to get like 3 or 4 more lines of like the string. And I remember it going like way up in the clouds, and like we called the news station and everything because of how high up the fucking kite went. And I don't remember if I was irritated or excited, but like the whole thing was just like this pointless experience that I still remember in my head when I was like 5.
Yeah.
And I don't remember why, but it was just
because it's the worst fucking gift. A kite, even in good weather, a kite. When someone gives you a kite, they're basically saying, "I think you're special needs." We haven't diagnosed you yet, but you're on some kind of spectrum. Because they're like, go outside and just stare into the sky. Like they don't even think you could handle a baseball or like any kind of sport. Like he's gonna get hurt. Look up.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a ginger, so I mean that makes sense.
No, you have no soul. It doesn't mean you're retarded. Like there's a difference in what you do.
I don't know. Me being retarded is questionable, man.
Yeah, but it's okay because you could be on spectrums and be good. But yeah, a kite is like I remember when my mom was like,
stupid.
they would. I mean, think about even the saying. They'd be like, "Go fly a kite." It means fuck off. It doesn't mean have a good
Right.
time.
My 6-year-old, if I take her to the store and show her a kite, she doesn't want the kite. Nobody wants a kite. It's
They
stupid.
see if someone sees the picture of something flying in the air, they're like, that seems cool. But then they think about the whole process of a string and bringing it into the air and then just standing. If you were always running with it, that's one thing. You're just standing the fuck still. Like that's some slow people stuff. That's like watching paint dry, but in the air. And it just comes down. Like if you see someone flying a kite, you're not like, oh, I want to have a conversation with them. Like something went wrong. Like their therapist told them to do this.
Right.
Like that. Besides Ben Franklin, name me someone famous who kites.
I can't think of anybody.
No.
I see there's a lot of kite festivals, but I don't even know anybody that goes to those.
First of all, I don't know if there's a lot of kite festivals. There's probably 1 or 2, but because if you saw one, you're like, that's way more than there should be. A festival of kites, unless you're Asian, because you're flying dragons. Asians do things better, so that shit. They're battling in the air, but that's not even kites. That's like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Kite.
Yes.
Like, that's a whole different fucking thing.
Well, and the one dragon kite is really like 75 kites stringed together to do dance moves and stuff.
Right, and you've got all these kids that usually are making sneakers or having the day off, and they're fucking working the kite. Like that's fun to watch. But just some fat, pudgy Ben Franklin dude working a kite to go, I'm gonna get electricity as well. It's like get the fuck inside. Like get out of here. Go molest a kid like you want to. Stop flying a kite.
Right.
Because that's what you're doing it for. You're trying to draw. It's really just it's the way you flirt with a child when you're a pedophile. You're like, see this kite? Look at this. Now, where's my finger? Like, oh god damn it, I got diddled again.
All right, you ready for the next one?
Sure, sorry.
Right, no,
Oh yeah,
good.
hot lips, great gift.
That's a great gift. I already ordered one during this rant.
Don't buy kites.
Next one says, the game of existence. At the
What?
bottom.
Oh no, it's life.
Yeah, it says, can you score the least points and die a sad, lonely defeat?
Dude, that's funny. I like
That's
that
good.
because it's got the light. It's got the life logo. It's shitting on it. That's a game you might play once, but that's funny just to give to someone.
Yeah, just to get, yeah.
I
No,
wouldn't
exactly.
even open it. That would be on a shelf behind me. So on podcasts, people are like, "What the fuck is that?"
Yeah.
You know, what I mean? You
Like a
wouldn't-
little display behind you.
Yeah, I can't imagine it being fun, and it would be repetitious. I think once you got into you could go from fun to someone killing themselves real quick with that game if too many things hit home with the little jokes of like, alone with your cats again, huh? You're like, all right, dude, I got it. It's like,
No, and I've never, and even life was never really, fun for me. Like I played it a couple times, but I don't have any memories where I was like, yeah, let's go play it again.
We would play it a lot, but yeah, once you had to start shoving 18 kids in your car like you're a Puerto Rican, you're like, okay, I got to lay one down. There's too many in here. Now, in
Yeah.
that game, can you abort the children? Because it's existence, so I wonder if you
You
can do that.
I'm sure we could probably mess around with this. I doubt there's a patent on it.
Yeah, this looks very lazy. And the picture looks like it's dated because it's not a United Nations look. It's not like a college brochure where like there's not one tranny, one black guy. It's
Oh
just
my God.
a group. You know what I mean?
A group of white people of all time. There's no diversity at all.
But then again, it's like I guess if you call it existence, people are like, yeah, white people just exist. Everyone else flourishes. Like, yeah, you're right.
What's your favorite board game?
Of all time, Monopoly's always a good fun go-to because you can really learn about someone's personality, how long they
Yeah.
can last it. But back in the day, I liked Risk.
Okay.
If you had
Yeah.
time, like if it was the summertime and you had friends that you could play for like 6-7 hours and then leave it, go off, do shit, and the next day come back as long as nobody fucked with the board. And
Right.
then and to be honest, it was the only way I learned about the map. Like it's like I didn't know things were.
I liked Guess Who as a kid.
That
I know
was
it's not
bad.
a board game, but it was fun.
No, but that falls under the. I mean, like, but that
Yeah.
that was fun because at least you could just be silly and guess dumb
Right.
shit, whatever. Yahtzee wasn't bad. I mean, I'm
Yahtzee
older, but
was
like
alright.
that taught you how to play craps, which I guess is good for gambling people. You know,
I remember like Thanksgiving, like getting together with the family, which of my family was like 50 to 70 people. And we would get around the table and play progressive rummy with like 90. There'd be like 9 of us, and like it would be like 12 card decks.
jeez, yeah, that can get fun though. So,
Yeah.
like
And
we would
literally
when I
last
was
the whole day.
little, when Trivial Pursuit came out, my uncles and my dad would play that, and then they would have a kids one, or like because I knew sports. I'd walk by and my dad would be like, "Stan, I'm doing sports," and then like get mad if I didn't know Dick Butkus was the answer to some fucking question, and it's just like okay, and then like you go back to your room and shut up. Like so, when I got older, I'm like I want to play Trivia Pursuit, but then I'm like, oh, it's just boring lesser Jeopardy. That's all it is. You know what I mean?
Right. Jeopardy's at least entertaining. Shit, people today still like Jeopardy. I mean, Gen Zs even know what Jeopardy is.
Right. I mean that. At my age, it was you understood what kind of person you were dealing with if they watched 7 o'clock Jeopardy or 7:30 Wheel of Fortune. You know what I mean? Like there was one or other. Like a guy who's like, "I'm good at Wheel of Fortune." Like, oh, you're good at guessing what a word is when it's
Right.
halfway spelt. Okay, way to go.
Right. And speaking of like stuff that still is in existence, I like to talk to people about like with podcasting and YouTube being like my main source of wanting to focus on because YouTube's been since it took off, it's always been pretty consistent
Yeah.
as far as subscribers, people that use YouTube. It's been around for what 2 decades now, maybe more than that.
At least, right? Yeah. I don't. It's hard to even remember a time where it wasn't a thing. Like it's become
Right.
so natural. I literally watch more YouTube than I watch other streaming services. Like at this point, it's
Right.
just the go-to thing to go on.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you got Netflix and stuff, but it gets boring. You know, there's those platforms have been around, and there's only so much on them.
And there are shows that I never would have thought I'd ever want to watch that are there. Like I watch what's the network Try Guys, and they do like Without a Recipe, where the 4 guys just try to cook, but they're awful cooks, and they try to make shit like Oreos and shit with chemicals you couldn't make, and they fail, and then they say awful swear words, and they're weirdo. I never would have watched this thing, but I can sit there and watch 4 or 5 episodes of it. And
Right.
I'm a wrestling fan, so I watch a bunch of I catch up on wrestling stuff through like all What Culture. It's a great hub to just if you've got like 18 stupid guilty pleasures, you can find them all there. You know.
Yeah, and you can literally just search a what niche you're into, and then podcasts, and then you most likely find something.
Right. I grew up liking the NBA, but like with doing comedy and stuff, I don't really have time to watch basketball. And also, they're long ass games now, and they go on forever. There's a channel I follow on YouTube, but it just shows you the last 2 minutes of every game the night before. So if I wanted to see a game, I could literally watch the last 2 minutes all in its entirety. If it was a close game, because that's all you really need. I now know what happened in that game because they also catch you up by the announcers talking, and I don't have to watch
Yeah.
basketball. I get all my basketball in 10 minutes.
Right, that's great.
Yeah. And
My
then
kids
movie
actually,
spoilers. Like when you watch a shitty movie, I watched a shitty thing on Netflix the other day. That one, Leave the World Behind. I'm like, what the fuck did I just watch? It's so stupid. And then I go find a heavy spoiler channel or an Easter egg channel or whatever, so they can break it down and go, this is why you hated this. This is why this is dumb. This is why this
yeah.
is gay. And you're like, okay, that's crazy. It's like,
Well, yeah, people just go on there and post reviews about movies, music videos, everything, celebrities, sports.
the best
Yeah,
thing on YouTube ever though is black people reacting to white people shit. That I can watch that for fucking ever. There's one called the Carter Family. They'll like here's they're like we're watching Guns N' Roses November Rain and they don't even know what the fuck that is. And then they go,
right.
"Oh shit, look at that dude with the hat. That dude with the hat is crazy with a guitar. He wild." And I'm like it's the joy like watching them
Right.
like see Freebird and watching
Right.
them hear that guitar solo and their world change. They're like, oh, white people can do fun shit. Like sometimes you're better at fun shit than we are, but like,
There's a guy I like to watch. I don't even know his name, but I've seen his stuff. I like metal, and he's like a preacher, and he'll like react to metal music, and like
that's fun.
that is a lot of fun to me.
Especially when he really likes something and he didn't want to, and you can tell.
Yeah.
Who's your go-to bands?
I love Lamb of God.
Okay.
I like Trivium. Coheed and Cambria, Pantera is pretty good. I mean, if we're going old
Cambria, I can't do because I mean his vocals are they're powerful and they're great. It's just that register I don't like to fuck with.
Yeah.
Lamb of God has been strong for a long time. Like
Yeah.
once you get. I think people at first go like, oh, screamo, which that's not really screamo, but still at the same
Yeah.
time they get too into like the vocals, but that's a powerful thing to do. But once you hear the lyrics, they have better messages than a lot of the other shit.
Oh yes, and I tell people that all the time, and I listen to stuff a lot heavier than Lamb of God. But yeah, I think it has a lot to do with what they're talking about. Like, there's a lot of them that are just stupid. There's no sense to it. It's just screaming and clashing music, and that's all it is.
Right.
But there's some out there, if you actually dig, that actually have a good message, and that's the kind of stuff I like. So yeah, Lamb of
God
great.
and Trimium are good, like gateways to
Yeah.
that type of music. Those are ones that you can watch it and go, okay, I at least get it, and then you can go deeper into other stuff. Like cancer bats and shit like that. You can just get all the wild stuff.
Butcher Babies. I don't know if you heard of Butcher
Yes.
Babies. They're pretty good.
It's not really my genre, but I like to check out every genre. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, and I listen to any kind of music. Actually, one of my podcasts is called In the Lounge with JG and Profiki, and we literally have artists of all genres on, and we talk to them about their lives before they even got into music.
And that's why when you get back into those social media, I enjoy TikTok for the very reason of I can find an artist and see shit they're putting out without having a label or a thing. Like people are doing like bluegrass and folk in like Kentucky that I wouldn't even know existed, and they've got some good shit and great ideas that they would never get. They get so lost in this world now because there's no real label pushing. They have to just get their shit out and have to have certain kind of views. But if you get into the right genre, you can find music you enjoy.
Right, yeah, there's kid Jed Harrelson, and he popped up on my TikTok, and he's slowly climbing. But he's got a saxophone, and he's got kind of this blues rock kind of sound to him. Young kid, and I'm like, man, this is impressive seeing a young kid doing this style of music. And whenever I have artists on, I research and make sure, like, are they actually somebody who's trying to get big, or are they somebody that's just putting out content and doesn't give a shit? Because there's definitely those out there.
Anyone that's playing horns, I'm excited about because you're not seeing it anymore.
Yeah.
Where do you see a band like a Chicago back in the day, like where they're Earth, Wind, and Fire, where they're using brass, and it's like it really does change the power of a song when you have that shit, and no one does it. And if they do it, it's just a recording off a fucking keyboard now or a computer. It's not the real thing anymore.
Exactly. Yeah, and that actually impressed me a lot. I told him on the show, I was like, man, I'm just impressed that you even have a saxophone in it, man.
Yeah.
So, all right, back on topic. Let's get back on topic here. Next up, Lonely People Holding Cats 2019 calendar.
I kind of like it.
That's cute.
If that's the cover guy, though, it's not going to get more wild than that guy.
No, and it's 2019, so really, I mean, there's not much. And look how big it is. The dude's holding it in his hand.
Oh, man. Do you think it's 2019 because they didn't make another one because all of them died of loneliness and they're like, it's too sad?
They might have died with the cats with COVID.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Yeah, you're right. This is before COVID.
Right, when COVID hit, yeah. So that's probably the last pictures they took.
If someone gives this to you, what do you think they think of you?
That's true. Man,
You buy it for
you
yourself because
are.
it's funny. I had an
Yeah,
outhouse calendar. It was outhouses
yeah,
around the world, and it was like funny just to see the dumb things around the place. But I wasn't. I wouldn't give that to someone like, oh, you like shit, and I wouldn't give that to somebody. But like this, why?
go ahead.
If I gave it to somebody, why the fuck would I give it to somebody? Unless I'm like, okay, you're a loser, and I want you to know it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right. Like if you bought it for yourself, funny. But if somebody gives it to you, I'd probably question if you need that person in your life.
Yeah, because they're well. I think they're saying I don't want to be in your life. You're a
Yeah.
lonely person with cats. Here you go. You have other friends. Talk to them. Because if it just said people holding cats, that's one thing. But you're
Right.
taking that dig. You're going. You're lonely.
Yeah.
But they also
Right.
pose for a photo, so they're not that lonely.
Well, I mean, the people on there, but I mean, actually, I don't know. That guy's facial expression is kind of confusing. I can't
Yeah,
tell if he's excited or needs to take a shit.
I don't think it's his cat. He
It
has a
might be.
look like he's like squirrely with it, and he's like, it might get away. I think they just said, you look lonely. Here's like, because it doesn't say lonely people holding their cats.
It's true.
So
It
maybe
does
they just
not.
matched them up. Here's a cat. Here's a lonely. Yeah, that guy's not. He's the fear of God's in his eyes.
Right. I don't think he wants to be holding that cat at all.
Clayton. I'd be pissed they put my name in there.
Why not? Maybe it's the name of the cat.
It's not.
No. I mean, I don't know a cat named Clayton.
No, I don't know many cats' names, but like Clay, that's a Clayton because a cat would be Clay. A man is Clayton.
That's fair. It does say includes 2 months of Clayton. So there's more than one picture of Clayton in that calendar.
So it's lonely. No, it'd be funny if it was lonely people holding cats and it's just Clayton for 12 months. And it's different cats. So it's like lonely person holding cats. So they don't want to do that. So like,
That's fair. They probably couldn't find too many lonely people with cats, so they had to plug two of them with Clayton.
yeah, I think it's a hard casting call when you pitch it as lonely. If you just said we need people with their cats, cat lovers unite or something, then they're like, oh yeah, I'm in. But I don't think they wanted crazy cat ladies. So when they said lonely, those women are like, I'm not lonely. I have 37 cats. I can't be alone. And like, you are alone. They don't talk.
I had my great grandparents that lived in Utah, and this lady had her house, a trailer, and her garage, and they were filled with over 300 cats. And the city had to come evict her because she wanted to get rid of the cats.
That's crazy when the city gets involved because they don't want to do shit. They won't even help you when the people someone's beating their kids. But when they come in to get rid of they come in. I guess that's the like yeah, that's your intervention.
Right.
If they come to your door and like we got a problem, you're like, oh fuck.
And do you like cats at all or no?
I do like I don't own any pets, but I do
Yeah.
like cats. You know,
Yeah.
I like cats better than dogs only because it's less maintenance and
They're
more.
independent.
And they just chill. Like they'll come next to you and purr. You know the cat's feeling. You know what I mean? A
Right,
dog,
right.
you're kind of like a dog's a little bit autistic, and you don't know what the fuck's going on. I know they're fun, but you need a lot of time and energy to take care of a dog. You don't need a
Right.
lot of time and energy to take care of a cat.
Right, right. And for me, I've got 4 dogs. At one point, I had 4 dogs, 3 cats, and 7 ferrets, and that was a
Seven.
nightmare.
Oh, dude, that ferrets smell like someone's balls.
If you don't take care of them.
They have good smells. I've never smelled a good ferret.
If you take care of a ferret and you have them on the right diet, they're actually not that bad. They're
What's the
supposed to be on
ferret's
like
diet?
it's supposed to be raw meat and egg. Like that's supposed to be their diet. And
kind of
people
raw
don't know
meat?
that. If you don't look into it, then you don't know.
What raw meat?
White meat, like chicken, turkey.
Oh, I thought you meant
stuff
like
that-
Guy, like Clayton.
Yeah, like just like Clayton. Yeah.
Here's some white meat. It's like,
No, yeah, I would literally like we would take him out and let him run around the basement and feed him raw chicken and egg, and that's literally what their diet was. That's what they ate, and it's not as bad, but you got to keep up on them too. Like if you ain't keeping up on them, it just builds up in the cage. It's fucking gross. It smells
Yeah.
terrible.
when I was in college, I played rugby, and we lived in a rugby house, like a fraternity house type thing.
Uh-huh.
And there was this one kid in the summer that was like went back home for the summer, and he wasn't using his room. And another buddy, he had 2 ferrets, and he's like, "Well, I'm just gonna let the ferrets chill in that guy's room without a cage or nothing." And when he came back, his room was just covered in pellets of shit, smelled like balls. It was like the worst, but he wasn't taking care of it. So I think that's what I relate ferrets to, is that guy's stinky room.
Yeah,
So
which is fair. Yeah, no, totally.
ferret.
And same as the cats, man. That smell of ammonia. Especially like that lady with 300 cats. Nah, there's no way
Yeah.
that house did not reek.
And you can't get that much litter, so you're just using pebbles at that point. Like,
Yeah,
what are you
yeah.
even doing?
I mean, those walls are probably stained with the smell. I mean, the carpet, the fabric. I mean, everything. There's no way that's and the cat piss. Oh my god. I mean, dog piss is bad, but cat piss is terrible.
I'm gonna go on the record and say all piss is terrible. Like, I'm not. I haven't tried them all, but I mean, even human
Yeah,
piss is not a good time.
Yeah, no, yeah. Well, and some days, depending on what you drink when you go to take a piss, you're like, man, why is that odor there?
Yeah, like what? Isn't asparagus the one that's supposed to make it the stinkiest?
Uh-huh. Yeah, and I like
Who was that
asparagus, so
scientist?
yeah, I'm curious. Who like looked into it and was like, nope, it's definitely the asparagus.
More than looked into it. Definitely broke out a bunch of vegetables. Got a couple people that like for $50 a day. Here, eat these vegetables, then go piss over there and let me smell you. Like that's a crazy science thing.
It's like a beer flight of just different pisses, and you just sit there smelling them.
Yeah. Oh, what was that? Brussels sprouts? Oh, that's nice. It's like. And do you think it was the same study with the people that did the pineapple and the semen?
Oh my god! And that's a whole other ball game in itself. Like, who figures this stuff out? Like, the statistics show that if you eat pineapple, it'll make your semen better. Like, did women come and say, you know what, this is actually this isn't bad?
Or did they make a woman just eat a basket of fruit and suck a lot of dick? Like, what was her day about? Here's a kumquat and then here's a black cock. It's like, oh, that's a good combination. It's like a wine and cheese pairing.
I'm pretty sure you probably find it on Pornhub. They probably have the video of it somewhere.
She's like, I know it sounds racist, but BBC and watermelon really go together. It's crazy. It's like, it really does work.
That is true though. I mean, it's God, man. The whole pineapple thing is. I don't know how realistic it is because I've never like looked into it myself.
No, I'll guarantee you that was just Dole. Nobody was buying pineapples, and Dole's like, "What do we do?" And someone's like, "Tell people it makes jizz taste good." Like, what? Like, just throw the rumor out there and see and then people start buying pineapple.
Did you notice our sales went up 45% since we put out that rumor?
And STDs went up 27%.
We're not talking about that. We're not talking about that. Though.
But it's okay because pineapples help fight scurvy. So as long as they don't have, if they have scurvy, it's fine.
Right. Are you, Rex, ready for the next one here?
Oh yeah, sorry, ADHD.
No, this is literally the whole point of this show. Just random as fuck. All right, next up. This says a glove with sand in it. How to feel less alone.
Did you just go to lonely.com? What are these things?
Man, I mean, this is better than the other one, though. I mean, personally, I would rather have at least I could probably, heat this up or something, kind of give me some warmth.
Yeah, but if you're going to do this, do the weighted blanket. At least a weighted blanket looks like a blanket. This is just a severed hand on your shoulder.
It just looks like a severed hand. Yeah, I mean, and it says fill the glove with sand and put it on your arm so it feels like someone likes you and you're not a pathetic, mess.
Holy shit. There was no need for that last part. Like, all you had to do was give me the directions. Fill it with sand and enjoy your nights of sleep. Like, you fucking loser, piece of shit, cuck. It's like, what are we doing? Why are you yelling at me? I just bought your product.
Yeah, just put how to feel less alone and leave the rest out. You don't need the rest of it.
You know what? I mean, even if they charge $20, they're making a killing because gloves cost shit, sand costs shit. Like that's easy.
That's easy, man. No matter what.
Wait, do they give you the sand?
No, it doesn't. It says fill the glove with sand.
So it's just a glove.
It's just a kitchen glove.
You're just buying a glove.
Yeah.
Not even two. One glove.
Nope. It's one glove.
Well, do they have a different glove for each shoulder? Like, this is your left side. This is the way it holds you?
I don't know. If I got that as a gift, I'd at least ask if there was another color option.
Oh, I'm sure it comes in different ones.
Yeah.
I don't want red. But I guess they can't do people's like flesh colors because then that gets a little too weird.
And they probably wouldn't want to get any like real neon poppy colors because that kind of gives off a vibe of feeling good. And they probably want you to feel more depressed. So that color, I mean, it's
Red's not depressed. Red's anger. You don't want that. And like, I guess if they went like a caramel color or something, then somebody would just jerk off with it, pretending a Puerto Rican was jerking them off. Like, so you can't do that. You're like, no one. What do you do? Like a Native American's blasting you? You're not worried about that. So red is fine, I guess.
Well, and I personally I hate gloves in general. I don't like to wear them. I sure as hell don't want one just sitting on my shoulder.
Why do you hate gloves?
I just don't like to. I'm a sweaty person without gloves. Wearing gloves, when I take gloves off, like I work in a kitchen, and when
Yeah.
I take gloves off, like you just a pool of sweat just pours out of the glove. It's just for
Yeah.
me, this doesn't work, because I got sweaty hands.
What about when you're outside and it's chilly? You don't like a nice glove?
No, I just stick my hands in my pockets. It's not,
Yeah,
I'm,
pocket stuff is good. I'd
yeah,
rather a glove than a mitten, though. I don't need my hands all bunched up.
right, right. Yeah, no, it's just not my thing.
A mitten is telling you that you're using your fingers wrong and you need to be confined. Like, I don't like that. It's like,
If you have a mitten, it was given to you from your grandparents. Nobody buys mittens for people.
I think they made a comeback. I think like women were starting to wear mittens.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it's a better way just to go like just
Yeah, that's fair. That's
yeah.
fair. Even like the whole fanny pack, has kind of came back too, and that was out for a while.
I'm not pumped about that at all.
No, I was never a fanny pack person.
I did a comedy show for a girl the other night, and when she went to pay me, she reached into her fanny pack. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I won't even take the money. I don't want to feel like a carny is paying me. Like, I don't want you to have like and it's not easier. You still have to like reach down. You have to put it on like a belt. It's not functional. It's stupid. No. You look dumb.
You look ridiculous.
Yeah.
And the purpose, it's just the same as having a wallet in your pocket or your purse. I mean, it's just there's literally no difference. It just looks bad.
And it's not on your fanny.
No.
I mean, I guess
nobody wears it there. I mean, it could be, but nobody wears it there.
Because in Europe, fanny means vagina.
See, I didn't even know that.
In like England, whatever, and then fanny means ass here. It really doesn't, because that's such an old term word. No one's like, "Oh, I like your fanny. I want some fanny play." Or it's like so, but like, yeah, it's the fanny up front. So maybe when they're wearing it up front in England, that makes sense to be a fanny.
Yeah,
but it's just a stupid belt it's like a Batman utility belt for gay people.
and most of the people that you see that wear either are foreign or practically homeless.
By the way, you should start a new magazine called Practically Homeless, where they're just like decorating their box in wonderful ways, like it's on a baller on a budget. I would read Practically Homeless all the time.
Now I'm gonna start a blog.
Yes,
I should.
What like the top 10 best cardboards, and then like best jars to shit in. Like, that would be a fun one. It's like,
or just like different like
pickles
different home buildings that people have created, like on the streets.
What's the top 10 Sharpies to use while making a sign for your money? It's like,
man, now you got a whole new show concept for me, man.
We got you. Yeah. Practically Homeless. Oh, it'd be huge.
It's got to happen, man. Just a 10, 15-minute show.
Yeah, if anyone steals this, at least we know someone's watching the show.
Right, I mean? Yes, exactly. That at least I'll feel good about it. But seriously, though, now you got me wanting to do a skit called Practically Homeless.
Yeah, it's yours. Please have it. Go. I think you'll do better with it than me. But like, I would like it if someone one day was like, we have our guest today, a comedian, radio guy, and inventor of Practically Homeless. It's like, the creator of the new sheet going around. It's like
I just go around like finding people's yards that look absolutely terrible too. It's just like dogging on their yard and how terrible it looks.
That's who they should give those gloves to. Instead of giving them money, give one glove to a homeless person so they feel safe in the box.
That's good. That's good.
And they've got sand in.
I could review them about their home and then give them that.
Oh, like bum fights with gifts.
Yeah,
it's nice.
Bum fights is hilarious.
Yeah, that was a time at the very beginnings of the internet, and people were. It was like the Wild West of the internet, and it was beautiful. I'm not happy that they were getting hurt, but the guy who thought of that, fucking genius. It's like fight for your food, and they. Oh my god!
Did you ever see Bum Hunter?
Yes,
that was also very impressive.
Wild. Anything with bums is nuts. Like, and the fact that you're still calling them bums.
Yes. There's a city here in Kansas called Lawrence, and they actually which everybody's pissed. The city council has made it to where you're supposed to treat the homeless like citizens, and they are now like pulling like buses from states over to drop off these homeless people because they don't want them. So you just got a city of homeless people walking the streets.
Man, wouldn't that suck if you're homeless right? And you've got nowhere to go as it is. That's why you can just roam the streets.
Yeah.
And then someone picks you up, puts you in a bus, like, are they bringing us to shelter? And then they just make you homeless somewhere else.
Yes.
It's like, I didn't need a homeless placement system. Like, what the fuck is this?
At least when you get dropped off, you got a nice welcoming of other homeless people.
Welcoming. They got a sign that says bum. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh, that's me. I'm bum.
You're supposed to be here. That's all it says.
No, I'm tramp. That's hobo. I'm wrong boxed.
All right, next gift.
Yes.
It says funeral kazoo. That's pretty good. That's
Funeral kazoo. Those two words aren't supposed to be together. Fucking funeral kazoo. What the? Why? Why? What? He's got his head down.
Yep.
Oh no, they're playing kazoo.
That's great for kids.
What, do you play taps on it?
Oh, dude, I don't know. I suck at a kazoo. I don't know anybody that's good at a kazoo.
No one can suck at kazoo. It's a kazoo.
Hey,
Well,
people have done whole like songs with kazoos, all right?
So yeah, the only kind of specialty kazoo I knew was cancer kazoo. That thing you put in your throat where you're like, I can't smoke anymore. I didn't know there was funeral kazoo.
The only throat kazoos I know are from Waffle House.
Yes. What is the purpose of funeral kazoo?
It says drowns out sobs and wails better than bagpipes.
Dude, I want one. I want to go to random funeral. We should crash funerals, dude, and just go there. And then when people are sad, like, and they're like, what the fuck? Like, are you playing kazoo? Like, funeral kazoo.
Yeah. Have you seen the Wedding Crashers?
Yes.
Because we'd be the funeral crashers. Go. You get people snickering though. There'd have to be somebody in that crowd snicker. At least two people in a group at the funeral home would laugh.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Especially the people that run it would be like, I hope they're selling them there. You go to the funeral and they offer that part of the service. Would you like the funeral kazoo? Like, what the fuck is that? Well, for the kids that are there, or if you don't like crying and stuff, or maybe like grandma likes to say the N-word sometimes and we want to stop her, you can always hit the kazoo right when she's going to say it, like it bleeps her out.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's actually really good. I like it.
I would hand these out to everybody, and you could just write their name on it. Like instead of getting those like prayer cards that you're gonna lose anyway, you have grandma's stats on the back of your kazoo.
Yeah,
That'd
that would
be
work.
awesome. Yeah,
That'd be really good. Or like just like a verse from a song on the back of the kazoo, and then you could tell people like what rhythm, and then you just play it like randomly throughout the funeral.
yeah. Grandma loves "Stairway to Heaven," and ironically, that's where she is now. And then they're just like playing it.
Yeah, on a kazoo.
On
And
kazoo.
if everybody was in sync, it'd actually be pretty impressive.
And even if they're not in sync, it really is a good way for everyone to come together and have one last memory of a lost one. We all played kazoo. Like if we kept kazoo just to funerals, where it was like like when the Eskimos just take somebody and put them on a raft and go fuck off and they light them on fire, like that's their thing. Like that's our send off thing. If we had a whole America just embraced the kazoo funeral, it would be great.
Right. No,
I'm on board. This is a great product.
I would buy it. Even if it was $15, I'd probably buy one.
And again, you don't unwrap it. You need to see this person in pain,
Yes.
suffering. Now, are they suffering from the kazoo,
value.
or are they suffering from the loss? Like, you don't know which one it is.
You really can't tell. I mean, if it's his kid playing the kazoo, it's probably because of the kazoo.
If his kid died and someone's playing kazoo, it's inappropriate. Because he's like, my son loved kazoo.
That's true, but I don't ever remember liking kazoo. Even as a little kid, I don't remember liking it.
Who's the best at kazoo in the world? Who's like the Michael Jordan of kazoo?
I'm sure there's somebody. There's
always the best, but like,
yeah. Do you remember those sticks that when you would like shake it, go wah 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 wah?
Yeah.
I liked that.
Yeah, but you can't do that at a funeral. That's too much.
It's way too kazoo, because you can kind of control the volume of it and stuff. So like, depending on the timing and the situation, you can make it real loud or just real soft.
Yeah, like the Aborigines, like they play that didgeridoo. That's like a giant kazoo in a way.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. Those are actually kind of those are really nice actually.
But you can't. They're not functional. You can't bring them to a funeral.
No, I mean if you did, it'd look really awkward.
I want funeral kazoo, but then they have to branch out and do like bar mitzvah kazoo. I want different kazoos for different things, like quinceanera kazoo.
Yeah, I mean, bring the kazoo back, guys. I mean, we're coming up with like real gold here.
Like, if anyone's watching this, we have basically become Shark Tank. All we've done with these
Yes.
products is come up with better ideas. If
Yeah.
we have funeral kazoo, we're doing that. We're helping the homeless dress up their homes. We're bringing it.
I mean, the lip heater with playing a kazoo would be, I mean, it kind of bring that new tech age look with that kazoo sound. I don't know.
You ever meet anyone that's really into bowling to the point where they have like accessories and shit? Like you might want to go one, but they've got like a ball and they've got like the suitcase and they got all that stuff. Like I would like it if someone was so good at kazoo that they needed the lip warmer because they have to prepare their lips to get ready to play the
Right.
proper. Because they had that glove, so that
Yes.
one glove holds it. And we combine all these things together. You could build the ultimate kazooer.
You know, that just the image in my head is basically like those balloon animal people who think that they're like the coolest shit.
Yeah.
It would be somebody like that with just a belt full of kazoos and thinking they're the shit.
A belt full of kazoos sounds like a book Oprah Winfrey would review. Like
Yeah.
she's like, today we read a belt full of kazoos, and it's got like real meaning. I'm like, I just want to hear kazoo.
Something about
play.
depression. Something else with dealing with depression, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, kazoo's so shitty that Jethro Tull and like Lizzo, they went flute, and nobody wants to go flute. But you'd think they
No.
would have gone kazoo. No one goes kazoo.
No, nobody does. I'm sure after this, if I was to TikTok kazoo, there's probably some people that literally just do song covers with a kazoo.
That's gonna make us sad, though.
Yeah,
We're building this up to a good thing. It's just going to be shitty people wanting attention. I don't think you should be
That's
a glory hound
true.
with a kazoo. Like, you should be doing it for the love of the game.
right. That's fair. That's fair. I know. I've seen somebody with one of those chickens, the rubber chickens, and they do the song covers. But
Yeah,
yeah,
rubber chicken's a weird instrument to play. It's like, what do you play, rubber chicken? Like, all right.
the rubber chicken. I mean, I don't play any instruments, but
No, me either.
rubber chicken want to be it.
If you're going to go,
I'll pick
like,
up my kazoo.
washboard, jug, kazoo, those are ones that I don't know if I'd want to play. The guy who plays a garbage can with his hands, that's a little
Yes.
fucking nuts.
here's another one right here, and you'll probably remember this one. But it says flesh eating telephone.
Flesh eating?
Yeah, you
Wait,
remember
what?
this? You remember that telephone on a string?
I remember
that you
that
pull
phone,
out?
but I don't remember eating
Yeah.
flesh.
No, but it always looked creepy as hell.
Right.
And the
Ages
eyes
3
are-
to 7.
Yeah, and it says when pulled, the eyes roll up and down. I remember that. It was pretty creepy.
It was very creepy, and it didn't talk though, because we didn't have that kind of
No.
technology. But it would make a different, like, longer ring each number you did.
It says
But-
don't bother calling for help. Don't ring. Yeah.
But do you feed it flesh?
I wouldn't know. I'm guessing it's just Fisher Price trying to continue to sell the product because I imagine it's not even being sold anymore. I
I'm
don't know.
assuming that Fisher Price did not allow that. I don't think
No.
the good people at Fisher Price are like, let's do cannibal phone.
Yeah. See, I remember this about the same time that I had that little pop mower thing. You remember that little mower that you'd push? It had like two wheels,
Yeah.
and it had the little balls, and then pop, 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 pop when you rolled it around. That's about the same time that I had one of these.
Yeah. Once again, though, we didn't have flesh eating lawnmower
No.
popper. It was just regular style. It was a different time. Things
Yeah.
didn't run on flesh.
Right, that's true. Yeah, and actually back then we didn't have phones or tablets.
No, none of that. Now, this makes me feel like maybe Fisher Price was trying to find a new way for fuel. They're like, listen, oil's tough. Maybe we can run things on flesh. Let's see if we can do that by pulling a phone. We'll do it that way. And if it works, we'll start putting them in cars.
That's
And
fair.
We bring back the saying pound of flesh. You know what I mean? Like paying
Yeah.
a pound of flesh for something. And now you can have pound of flesh phone calls.
When do you remember landline phones and being able to like pick up other phone calls?
Oh yeah, I mean I'm 49, so I'm literally in that sweet spot of half my life was no internet, no phones, whatever, like cell phones,
Yeah.
and then half my life with all this shit. So my high school dating days were walking with a long cord, going around and trying to hide on a stairwell while talking, and then hearing that weird buzz like thing where you'd have to oh
Yeah.
shit, and then you would hang up on the first person because you didn't know how to do it. And
Yeah. And I remember my bedroom, I had the cordless phone, and my bedroom there was a phone line right over it, and it was all the time. I mean, there's always picking up other lines and stuff. My mom used to get like ridiculous bills from talking to guys that she met online from where the fuck ever.
Yeah. Who was your mom talking to online?
Oh well, my mom, got she dated a lot of guys.
Nice. That's fun though. She was social.
I don't know about all that.
She didn't have the lonely person calendar or the lonely hand.
That's very true.
You know
I don't
what
even
I mean?
remember. I don't remember having cats either. So there's something.
Nope.
I remember having bunnies.
I'd rather your mom than a Clayton any day in my life. I got my
fair.
choice.
If that Clayton guy ever shows up at my doorstep, I know I'm doing something wrong for sure.
What are you talking about? Next week on the podcast, Clayton. And you're like, you got Clayton? I mean, psyched. I'll be watching. If you get Clayton.
If I get Clayton, I'm going to invite you back on. That's what's going to happen.
Clayton talk? Oh, I'm on.
Oh, that'd be great.
So many questions. Like, what 2 months were you?
Yeah. Or if this is a fake ad, which it clearly was, did you at least get paid for your photo?
Yes. Now, what 2 months do you think he is? Like May, because it's Clay, so he's that.
What's the most depressing month of the year?
Is it December or February?
For me, it's like that transition from winter to spring, like that fall kind of right before, because you're like ready for you've been through all the cold, you're ready for it to warm up, and then like you get that weird mix, especially in Kansas, because you'll have one day where it's like 80 degrees and you're like, sweet, we're there, and then like the next day it's back to 32.
I think it would be February because A, it's the shortest one, but it's the coldest one.
Yep.
B, Valentine's Day's right in there. And it's like, if you're feeling lonely like Clayton anyway, that reminds you of shit. Spring's on the horizon, but also it's fucking cold as shit. So I think Clayton would be a good February, but that might make the African Americans mad because like that is their month. And Clayton, who looks like a Klan member, is right on the front of it. You're like, all right,
oh my God.
This.
He for sure looks like a Klan member mascot.
Ku Klux Clay. Like he would be, that's a good name for him too.
Man, we are just coming up with some really good ideas here, I gotta say.
I don't know if the good's okay, but we're coming up with ideas.
Yeah. The Ku Klux Clay might be pushing it. I mean, we could throw it on a t-shirt and see what happens, but
oh, does that make you sad? Well, here's your funeral kazoo. Like, oh, okay, I'm better now.
Oh, that'd even be better, man. That's gonna be a new ad for my show. I'll just buy a bunch of kazoos that say JG's Lounge on it, and then I'll put if I offend you, just blow this.
Yeah, you're like Matt Rife. If I offended you, here's your helmet, but instead you got a kazoo.
Yeah, but Matt Rife is kind of digging his grave right now, man.
And what do you need in a grave? A funeral kazoo. There you go. Send Matt Rife a funeral kazoo.
I bet you I could probably send him 100 kazoos for like $20 on Amazon. You probably get like a ridiculous amount for nothing.
Look at you already thinking about like human trafficking in the kazoos. Like, how many can I get out there at one time?
Yeah. And that's how I'll start inviting my guests on too. I'll just send them kazoos.
Or after the show, like you get a swag bag. Cause you get all the stuff you showed me. I get in my house. I'm like, what the fuck? I don't want this.
Thank you for being on my show. Here, take all these.
Here's a sad calendar. Here's a hand. Here's a kazoo. Here's a kite.
If you scan
the kite
this QR
wasn't in it.
And if you scan this QR code, you can find the first episode of Practically Homeless.
Oh, it's the pilot.
All right, here's the last one. I had a few more, but we're about to hit the hour mark, and this has been fun, man.
Sorry, I do that.
So here's what I'd like to tell my guests is I pick a bunch, but as long as the conversation is good, I don't give a shit if I hit two of them or all of them. It doesn't matter because it's been a good conversation. So
yeah, I'm someone that usually when they have plans, the plans go away. Unfortunately, it's like.
So this is the last one we're gonna hit today.
Spam bomb.
Spam lip glaze. It says glaze, not even bomb. It
glaze. Oh yeah, because like ham has a glaze.
Yeah. I never even tried spam until recently, and I didn't care for it. But
no, I mean it's not the best. But if you fry it and you put it with eggs, and it's kind of like a Canadian bacon but fatter. You're not psyched to have it, but like there's worse things to eat. But I couldn't imagine just wanting that taste on my lips or putting that on to kiss someone. If someone needs you to have that, they're a level of fat you don't want to be around.
Exactly. And I can't imagine it smelling great, especially if it sits there too long. And that tube, as it depreciates, is only going to smell worse.
Yeah. It was, well, maybe not, because spam has like a lifespan of like a billion years. Maybe the bomb also has a lifespan of a million years.
That's fair. That's a good selling point, actually.
Yeah, well, it's gonna last forever because you're never gonna fucking use it.
Yeah.
If you
Just,
give out of all these gifts,
uh,
this is the one where I'd be offended and I would stop a friendship. If you gave me spam, I'm like, what the fuck? You think my breath is so bad that spam would be better than me? Like my smell is worse than spam.
right. You got this little odor going on, man. Try using this.
Hey, your lips
Wow.
look fucked up. You know what helped? Fake processed meat.
Yeah.
Like, oh, thanks.
You open it up and it's literally a tube of spam, and it's not actually bomb. It's actual spam in the tube.
I think the only way you could pass this off is if you give it to somebody you know like collects weird shit, and you could
Right.
pretend that this is old. And you're like, no, this is from the 50s. And they see it's like it was made in 2023, but like you marked that part out.
That's like when you get a gift and people try to rip the price tag off. You ever
Or
get those gifts?
They give you the gift receipt for spam.
Yeah.
Now, I wonder how much this is. This can't be much. Like $5.
$3.99.
Nice.
$3.99.
It's a good deal.
Actually, that might even be like a Dollar Tree, like while you're at the register kind of thing, where you're looking while you're waiting in line, and it's just right there.
Now, I'm not familiar enough with Spam's logo, but this feels like Spam themselves didn't make this.
Right.
Like, that doesn't
right.
look like their logo or branding. So I think someone's just using the name Spam. Like when you call a flying disc a frisbee, I think these people forgot you can't just call. But I guess if you just wrote processed meat
Yeah.
on a lip balm, nobody would use it. So you got to
Yes.
use Spam.
Yeah.
But I don't think the people of Spam are endorsing this.
No, there's no way. I don't know why you would. And it's only 0.15 ounces. I mean, I'm sure they probably, if it was spam, they'd probably want to hit like a larger quantity.
How much?
Or weight.
How much lip gloss or glaze?
I don't know.
Who says glaze?
Like if it was spam, it would probably be like more like the Carmax tube, like the round ones that you open the cap and kind of rub it on with your finger.
yeah.
I don't think
It's probably just like that. Wait, I can't see. What were they saying? The two
Oh,
little
it
people.
says, let's see here.
What's
it
the
says-
conversation they're having?
It says, say, ma'am, your lips are glam. Silly man, it's the spam.
What the fuck?
Dr. Seuss. Dr. Seuss.
I would fuck you behind glass. I will fuck you in the ass. I will take you on the lamb. Now put this on your lips, you spam. It's like, oh, that's nice.
Silly man, it's the spam. What a great turn on. Like, if I'm coming on to you and I say, say, ma'am, your lips are glam. First off, this day and age, I don't think anybody's going to look at that and be like, okay, you're a creep.
Or he's saying that thinking that she's going to respond with this riddle, and then she goes, it's jizz. Like, no, that's not the answer. You're supposed to say
Cut.
spam.
We got to redo this.
Yeah. This whore doesn't know her lines.
No, I actually hate lip balm. I hate the chapstick. I hate all that. It just that feeling
hate
on
it?
your lips. Oh yeah, I hate that feeling on your lips. It's like a waxy feeling. I hate it.
But what if you got some chapped lips?
I roll with the chapped lips, man.
Oh,
and
man.
I can hide it with this beard. I mean, it's pretty easy to
Yeah,
hide.
I guess. But if you don't hide it and they get cracked, like if you're outside too much and then you got some blood going on, you see those people, you're like, all right, now you're in the box again.
Yeah. Well, what'd you think, man?
I had a blast, man. That hour flew by. Thank you for having me on. It was a lot of fun.
Of course, dude. Yeah, I appreciate you coming on. Like I said, I like to keep it as random as possible. That way, you guys don't know what to be prepared for.
I was not prepared. But
Good. And where can everybody find you, man? Is it Facebook the only platform, or?
I do Instagram. It's Pat Oates. I think there's a dash between. But if most of you, if you don't mind, when you're done liking this and everything, if you get over to my YouTube, it's Pat Oates, and just subscribe there, like some videos, check them out. We do a couple live shows a week. I put a lot of comedy clips up there as well. So if you can get over there and support that, I appreciate you.
Yeah, of course, and I'll put that description in the description too as well.
Cool.
But yeah, man, I appreciate you coming on. Sorry we had to reschedule, but
no worries,
sometimes
man. You know what?
busy lives.
Anytime. This was so much fun. I'd love to chat with you again. So
Yeah,
thank you.
of course, man. I'd love to have you back on. And everybody that's listening or is going to listen or watch this later, I appreciate you guys. And until next time, we'll see you around.
See ya.